Hey guys, Mike Martinez, and today I want to share with you a simple lesson, actually a few lessons that I learned when I was practicing martial arts with Tamon Kashimoto. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Hey guys, Mike Martinez. I often take the mornings to sit down and reflect and think about my life and how I'm, approaching goals and achieving things, and think about the mentors I've had. And one of the mentors that really affected my life is a gentleman named Tamon Kashimoto. Tamon Kashimoto was my karate instructor for about 20 years when I lived in New York, and have the utmost respect for him. And not only the utmost respect, but actually have a fond affection for him as if he was my father, because really taught me a lot of great things. And I think he probably has been one of the people that has affected my ideologies about success and living and being a father and all these things, right? And I find tremendous value in the things that I learned from him. Here's just three things that I want to share with you. Number one is that you have to practice your craft. You have to practice every single day getting better. You got to practice refining your skills. You got to practice, working on the basics. And the basics, right? We hear that a lot, and a lot of times it just goes over our head. But really, the basics is the foundation for mastery. But when I first started practicing martial arts, and I started as a young man. In my teens, and I thought I wanted it to be able to defend myself and to fight better and to, impress people because I was a good fighter and stuff like that. But once I met Tamon Kashimoto, and I met him in my 20s, it really turned my game around. He used the martial arts, he used the act of punching and kicking and the act of practicing your craft and unifying your mind, body, and spirit to such a way where it really became a way of improving, a way of getting better, a way of achieving success. And a lot of times, we just used to practice. A regular class would be an hour, but we would give 100% in that hour. We'd come out drenched, right? And there would be a following class. You could stay for another hour. A lot of times you couldn't because you gave so much, right? But the idea was put everything in it. Put everything you got in what you're practicing, right? And that, I believe, is something that a lot of people hold back, and they say, I could put it all in, but I'm really not because of whatever reason, right? And I'll tell you, that right there brings me to the second lesson that I got from him. Because here's the deal, guys. We would practice. I'd go maybe 4 times, 5 times a week and practice. And every 2 months, we would have a promotion. Now, it didn't mean that every 2 months you were going to change belts. But every 2 months, you would be tested on the stuff that you learned, and not only would you be tested, but you would actually have to fight full contact while you were in that promotion. You'd have a fight of a couple of minutes with somebody else that was in your same rank, and that became a test of courage. That became a way of putting yourself and facing your fears, because there's always the possibility that you wasn't supposed to hit to the face, but every now and then you would get a kick in the face or maybe a punch in the face by accident, but still, right? You got hit, right? There'd be times when people would come out bloody by accident, but if you hit somebody in the nose and they got a nosebleed, right, and you'd get disqualified, but still the guy's got a nosebleed, maybe a broken nose, who knows? And those were the things that you had to face every couple of months. Every couple of months you needed to be in front of that situation where you put yourself in a fearful situation, but you act anyway, right? And that's one of the key lessons, guys, that I think today a lot of us miss, right? Because a lot of us, we want to do something, we got this great enthusiasm for doing something, but we let doubt come into the mind. We let fear develop in the body, and that fear paralyzes. Fear stops you. Fear, just ends whatever forward progress you got. And you gotta learn how to overcome that fear, right? You have to learn how to act beyond the fear. And that, again, is all about courage, because courage is not the fact that there's no fear involved. Courage is the fact that you got some fear and you're moving it forward anyway. So, I mean, that in and of itself, I used to pay, right? I forgot what it was, maybe $150 a month. I used to pay to be in a fearful situation, to face my fears, right? And those were just part of the dues that you put out there, right? I went and I practiced, and I got his instructions, and I paid for that, but I was also paying, right, when you think about it, to go and actually face a fear, right? So that was a very powerful lesson that I still use today, right? Because even right now, when I'm doing my things online, when I'm teaching, when I'm helping to mentor other people, there's fearful situations for me. What if I fail? What if I do this? What if I don't accomplish, right? Those thoughts are constantly hitting our minds, right? But you got to be able to go beyond that. You got to be able to move forward despite the fear. And that's what I'm telling you guys is a key lesson for you. If you're attempting to develop a business and you say, wow, I don't know, there's a lot of fearful things there. Yeah, I'm sure. Whenever you go into uncharted waters, whenever you're doing something that you're not familiar with, you're going to feel some fear, but you got to go over it. And I promise you that once you go over it the first time, you say, oh, man, that wasn't so bad. I could actually do this. I feel good about it, right? And that builds on top of each other. The next time you face it again, you find even more strength. The next time you find even more strength. And you start building that, and before you know it, it's no longer a fearful situation. Before you know it, you've mastered it because you practice your craft, right? And you built on that. That's the key. The last lesson I want to share with you, and probably the one that has impacted me the most, is the fact that he always taught to beat yourself, right? What did that mean? In the beginning, I had no clue, right? What does that mean, beat yourself? He used to say that all the time. Come on, beat yourself, right? We'd be throwing punches. Beat yourself. So the concept of beat yourself is simply to constantly improve. Constantly get better. Constantly find a way to throw the punch faster, throw the punch quicker, throw the punch with more power, with more agility. Throw the kick faster, right? Throw the kick with more accuracy. That was beating yourself. He said, forget about beating anybody else. You don't have to beat me. You don't have to beat the instructor. He would often say, I'm nobody. I'm here to teach you, but you can beat me. There's no, don't make that your cap. Oh, I got to beat sensei. I got to beat the instructor. No, go beyond that by beating yourself, right? Because I'm only this good, right? What if you could go up here? What if you could way surpass me? You could, right? But if you say, hey, I'm just gonna beat Mike. Mike is no good, right? So you go out there and you just go to beat yourself. And what does that mean, guys, for you and your business, right? Could mean a lot of things. How do you become a better influencer? How do you become a better marketer? How do you become somebody that attracts the right people? How do you become a better moneymaker? How do you become a better whatever, right? And always go to improve on that. Always never settle with, I'm at the best. There's always a higher level. There's always a place where you can grow and get better. And you know what, guys? That, again, was one of the things that I believe taught me more than anything, right? Because I went in there thinking, wow, that guy got a good kick. He's got a good form. He does a great kata. He does this. He does the other. Man, I want to be like him. No, you don't need to be like him. You need to be like you. And you need to be like you in the best form possible. And that's the difference, guys. That's where it works. That's where it makes a difference in your ability to be better, right? Because there's no end point. There's no, where do you say? Where do you stop? Right? You could always get better. You could always refine the basics. You could always find a way to improve. And to me, I'll tell you, my martial art, again, I thought, I'm learning martial arts to learn how to fight. It really became so much more. It became a way of life for me, and it became a way of personal development. It became a way of me saying, you know what? This is how I help the society. This is how I add value to the marketplace, by becoming better and by helping other people, right? And I'll tell you, one other lesson that I learned that really just came to my head was the fact that I used Tamon Kashimoto as a mentor. Because in the past, and I had studied martial arts before, and I don't think any instructor impacted me. I had several other instructors. I don't think any instructor impacted me the way Tamon Kashimoto did, probably because of the lessons and the way he brought it out and his communication skills. And the fact that, I had been in other schools that I had gone for a couple of years, and then, but with Tamon Kashimoto, with the Nanzen Kai karate that I practiced, I stood there for 20 years. I just loved it so much. And it was because of Tamon himself, of Kaisho Kashimoto, that I stood there, right? Because he was such a great mentor to me. And the value of a mentor, guys, I'll tell you, it's invaluable, right? You can't put a price tag to that. You can't put a limit to that. So, in your endeavors for business and for getting better and for being a success, find a good mentor. Find somebody that you can go out and say, you know what, this is how I get better. I got a person that's already in the path. Let me follow his footsteps, right? And let me develop in my own way, improve in my own way, master the basics in my own way, but let me follow the guidance, right? Because it changes things quickly. It makes you a lot better, a lot faster. So those are the lessons for today, guys. And I'll tell you, give me your comments, right? If you haven't subscribed to my channel, my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell and give me a comment. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like, but give me a comment and let me know if you're vibrating with this idea. Let me know if you're disagreeing with the idea. Let me know if you've practiced martial arts and what you got out of it, right? Because to me, it's a beautiful thing. Again, I thought martial arts was all about fighting, and there's a certain, I believe the fighting skills are the outgrowth of the practice, right? Of the, of punching and kicking and the practice of those things. But the fact of the matter is, it's about personal development. It's about you getting better. It's about you being the best. It's about you standing your ground, facing your fears, and improving yourself on a consistent basis. That's what I took out of it. And I'm blessed to have gotten Tamon Kashimoto to be the person that taught me those things. So find yourself a mentor. Practice the basics. Practice your craft. Give it 100%. Put everything you got, your mind, body, and spirit when you're practicing your craft. Face your fears and constantly improve. And find a mentor. Find a mentor that'll guide you through the path. Mike Martinez. Give me your comments. Again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel. And hopefully I'll be seeing you soon. And we'll be interacting. Find me on Facebook. And you know what? And don't forget, it's your time to shine.